Now I'm gonna start us off with a few people's absolute favorite in the terms of martial arts and self-defense. Master Wong. This is
Gotta hit them
five
in the balls.
self-defense moves that everyone should know. And children, if you're in the audience, leave.
On this one here, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about 5 basic self-defense moves any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do to able to save your ass if you get yourself there. Let me show
Who
you the
says
basic
that
one.
anymore?
Who does what?
Like Tom, Dick, and Harry. That is such a
It's a thing
20
in here.
sentence.
Don't forget
That's a
he's
thing
over
here in the
here in
South.
England.
That's a thing here in the South.
Yeah, I mean it is a fairly old saying. Yeah, I don't hear many people saying it, but it's not uncommon to say every Tom, Dick, and Harry can do this.
I do have a
But
question though. Is that Master Wong's real accent, or is he trying to force this?
I don't. I think it's a real accent because he is. I think he was born in China. No, he. I don't know. I think he moved to Thailand. I don't remember. He was born somewhere, moved somewhere, and then came to England. And he's been here for. I think he's been here for 40 years. So he was like 10 when he moved.
Huh. All right, I was just curious.
Yeah.
One here so you know. Somebody punched me in the face. So punch me in the face, boom, straight to the eye. Very
Okay. That first one. What you thinking?
That was a little fast. I didn't quite see it.
It's not too terribly bad. I like how he's getting on the dead side of the body instead of the live side.
Yeah. So let's play this back again. It's
And I like how he's using his rear arm to assist for the parry.
yeah. I mean, he's pretty much just rotating his hips and doing a what?
No
He's
kick.
literally just going over it really, and then hitting him in the eye. And then I think
Yeah.
what is he doing with that backhand when he's going in for that?
He's
parry?
parrying. Look where the rear arm goes. He's actually using that to almost guide the wrist.
Yeah, I'm gonna slow it down. I don't think he parried. I think he just used that one hand and stepped off and cut through.
Watch his right arm the whole way.
Okay.
His hand's making contact with the wrist.
So punch me in the face, boom, straight to that.
Yeah, I suppose he did.
Yeah, that is a parry. Yeah.
So if he's right there, he's got a lot of options from right there. I can't say anything too terribly bad about this. I like how he's going to the dead side. I like how he's kind of working what we will call the diminishing fighter. Diminishing fighter works off of if you're inflicting pain or blinding your opponent. Obviously, they're not going to be able to fight at full capacity. So I like how he's applying that while keeping his hands in a relative position for a guard, getting to the dead side. So I can't really critique that too much.
It's what we do every time we're going for a grapple. The first thing we have to do is whip them in the eyes or something to basically throw them off as we're throwing them or locking them.
The only thing I would really change, the only thing I'd really kind of change is that rear arm instead of just making contact with the wrist. I'd like to see him actually bridge the gap. So actually make connection, get a decent grip, because that arm right there, that's a very useful pivot tool. That's the only change I'd see. But that's just coming from a grappler. I think that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, I think he could very easily use a puck cell to control that arm while and pull him off balance to get more of an impact with the eye strike if he.
Well, you're a Wing Chun guy. His left arm right there. If he were to throw a bong sao actually going over the arm while maintaining his right arm taking control of the wrist and then turn his hips away, you've got pretty much the same exact setup for like what a lot of people would do if you train sport grappling to do like a flying armbar. Of course, he's not going to do a flying armbar, but if you torque the hips in it enough, you can actually pull them off balance, then maybe do like a Tayatoshi or even a Hizaguruma.
If I was from there, what I would try and probably like do an arm drag or sweep out the back of their leg while I have their arm. Use a Udijuji maybe.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad at all.
Okay, continue.
I think that's a relative position that gives you a lot of options from it.
Maybe a little bit fast for every Tom, Dick, and Harry to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little on the speedy side. You definitely got to know what you're going to do before you do it in that instance.
No, I don't think you have to know. I think it is. It's something that I've done just in sparring before, very similar. Just knock the arm down while I punch him in the face and go on the side. I don't think you need to have it planned. I just think it's something that comes with training something like Wing Chun that has a lot of parrying and arm control.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we do have some parries for Sanda and things like that. It's just usually that's something I'd say you probably need to be like, oh, who's going to come in with this side, so I should probably do that.
Maybe.
Straightforward. So let's go slowly. So he pumps, bang like that. So straight to his eyeball. No more eye left. Meaning, no more pretty girl for you.
A lot of people don't like the spear hand as well, but I think that's viable.
Well, the main thing to remember for spear hands are the best explanation I've been able to give people is if you're using a soft part of your body, strike something hard. If you're using a hard part of your body, strike something soft. So your fingertips, there's not too much give unless you start having damage inflicted on yourself. The eyes, they're fairly soft. So you're putting something hard against something soft. If you're using your fist and you hit, say, the cranium, you're probably going to break your hand. Instead of using your fist to the cranium, go to something that's a lot softer. So spear hands in that sense, I think can be very useful.
Yeah. It's one
I'm
of
not going to sit here and try to spear hand someone in the pecs because I've conditioned for it, but I'm not going to sit here and do this because I kind of like having use of my fingers.
It's one of the maxims, the yin yang principle must be understood and applied.
If you got a nice woman, you get a mess up eye. Problem. So I punch with this side.
And that's the real reason everyone watches Master Wong's self-defense.
Yeah, he always does have the best commentary.
No more pretty girl for you because you got a mess up eye.
Yeah, some people can rock the eye patch.
On the eye. That first one. Second one you can't do if somebody hook me. So when it comes to hook, boom like that to the body. The hook this side you can see, boom like that to the body. Okay.
I mean, covering up is one of the first things that anyone is ever told to do, I feel.
Yeah, just covering and throwing a straight line shot. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, you could just get a grab and turn Tayatoshi, Okigoshi, Ogoshi, whatever you want. Hell, you can go for Seonage from right there. So it gives you plenty of options. I don't see anything that you can say is deliberately wrong with covering and punching someone.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never really been a fan of covering up in that specific way, though, just because it has you limp down a little bit, so you're easier to grapple. But I get it. I mean, it covers the most stuff. And
well, like that, we call that answering the phone because it looks like you're pulling your hand to your ear to answer the phone.
We call it brushing over your hair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Technically, we call that age uchi uke.
Hakheim actually calls that wrapping the turban because he says it looks like you're wrapping something around your head. We call it just answering the phone. I teach it a lot for kids who are being bullied in school because you're not going to have talented fighters in, elementary school. But if they sit there and they just cover up, they're not having damage inflicted on them, and they throw a good body shot, or they're able to throw the kid to the ground. It tends to work out fairly well for them.
But I think that's pretty good. How are you throwing body shots? You do karate. Body shots have been lost in karate.
Really? Say that to every hand kata ever.
Say that to Jesse Yank.
Say that to every Pinan kata forever.
Okay, let's go back.
Then follow up the attack.
Oh,
so the very base.
Nice follow up there, like the grab and pull down.
So the hook coming in, you can go boom like this, straight in at that hook this side, boom like this, hook this side, and boom like this. That can be done. Okay. If you want to follow up to do that, to attack, that can be done. Or if you want to do this kind of movement, boom like this, and straight your elbow there to hurt him. Or you can go like hook in, so boom like this, straight elbow coming in that, and then follow up.
That's not my preference for an Impiuchi.
So that what?
That's not my preference for Impiuchi. That's not how I would apply the elbow in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's definitely a unique way of doing that. I mean, even like doing Muay Thai prior to Sando, I never really saw anybody use it quite like that.
Well, those sort of straight forward lunging elbows are more like they're more used in like Baji Chuan than they are in like Muay Thai.
So I can see the use for it. And I'm a fan of straight line elbows. I like doing that if I'm clenching up, retaining the hand on the neck while throwing an elbow to like the solar plexus or xiphoid. I'm a fan of that. But in that situation, I don't really prefer that. I much prefer to actually do almost like a drop shot, pairing my forearm to the ground, almost like I'm doing a bong sao. because it allow you to turn, get a whatever grab you want, and then of course make them bounce off the planet.
So you're saying more like a 3-6 elbow than straightforward.
No, it's still straight line.
Okay.
Think a straight line, almost like you're doing hikite whenever you throw a punch. You pull the elbow back behind you. Do that, but go to the front, almost like you're doing a bong style.
Yeah, I get what you mean now.
Yep. But that's just personal preference.
Definitely. But I mean, this isn't bad. And I think one thing, he gets a lot of criticism because some of his stuff's a bit batshit crazy. But I think one thing you can always say that he does well in his videos is that he always emphasizes that you can follow through and you can just keep hitting them just again and again and again to the point where you get slightly concerned.
See, like that's the
Honestly, yeah.
See, I really agree with that. I think that's a good thing you can find about him. The biggest issue I have with most martial artists when they're teaching anything for self-defense or anything for hell, I'll even use point fighting as an example. You know, I'm not a big advocate for point fighting. People tend to want to stick with what I call a one and done.
Yeah.
They think you're going to be able to hit them one time and that's going to end the situation. If you train to just hit them one time and then stop, you're training for failure. Because remember, more sweat and peace means less blood and war. You fight like you train like you fight. If you're sitting there training just to throw one technique, what's going to happen to you if you throw that one technique and it doesn't immediately stop the threat?
That's something I remember your debate with Cool Geek about judo, Japanese jiu-jitsu, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. One thing that a lot of Japanese jiu-jitsu does that Brazilian jiu-jitsu doesn't, that you can say it has something up on it, is Japanese jiu-jitsu will normally do like 3 different things and get you to tap like 2 or 3 times before they let you go, rather than tap and you're done.
I think the only time that BJJ, at least in my experience, wants to sit there and do multiple taps is if they're just doing a flow drill or flow rolling. Japanese jiu-jitsu, even whenever you're doing just like just a standard drill, you're wanting for a jujigatami. As soon as you get your jujigatami, you're thinking, oh, what else can I do from here? Uregarami, gyako uregarami, switch over to kagato jime. You've got these different options. They tend to push it more, whereas BJJ, I will say BJJ is a lot less militaristic in its training.
Definitely.
Due to the fact that BJJ is just, hey, make it work. And I can respect that. But at some point, you've got to learn, hey, what if that doesn't work? What if you're against someone who just benches your body weight and they're able to move you anywhere you want? You've got to be able to flow with them, be like water, go around whatever they're doing and then break whatever they give you.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Very basic and simple, not very hard at all on this kind of movement.
And that's another thing. He said these are things that everyone can do compared to Troom and freaking whatever that fake BuzzFeed thing we were watching was. This is fairly easy to remember things.
Yeah. And one thing I can say so far is this is a lot less racist propaganda.
Yeah, I haven't seen any swastikas yet.
Yeah.
Because this kind of movement sometimes, especially the hook, sometimes they come in very close. When coming out, very close. See, that will be attacking straight to there, and then now the follow up, and then you do the movement.
Even a bit of discussion about like how they can change range when they're coming in with it.
Easy to do. Okay?
Yeah, I don't see anything that you can necessarily say is just wrong with Master Wong for this.
Right, kick me the nut, keep it a nut, kick it up, boom like this, straight to the kneecap here.
Okay, now something possibly not okay is like trying to physically block a kick, like with your hand.
Okay, so how do I say this without being just upsetting everyone? So
since when did you care about that?
Well, it's been a long day, dude. I just got home before we started this.
Yeah.
So for the viewers, my first love is karate, right? And what do you know about karate? Whenever you see it in the TV or on a movie or whatever else, you throw a kick, they're gonna block it out of the way, and you're gonna get a hurt leg or whatever else. People see a lot more static blocking than what's actually supposed to be there. So when I say this, just know I'm saying it out of love. Don't put your hand in the way of something that's going to break your hand, if that means it. Because can you skip back just a hair to the block itself? Pause it as soon as he makes contact.
Ah, frick.
I was gonna say you might want to slow the frames down. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Beast. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional.
Okay, go.
So while he is parrying it,
Yeah.
there's always going to be that risk of, hey, shit's going to hit the fan. You know, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Mm.
So your fingers, what do you know about them? They've got a little bit of flex to them, right?
Yeah.
What happens if they get pushed too far back?
They hurt a lot.
They hurt a lot. You can get jammed fingers. You can get broken fingers. You can get a hurt hand, whatever else.
Mm.
Why put your hand there in the first place? If someone's trying to kick you in the balls, use your leg. It's a bigger bone. Someone's trying to kick you in the balls, just move out of the way. What's the best block? Don't be there.
And that's one thing I don't. A lot of martial arts do this, and at least for front kicks, I can say a little bit of leeway, just because a lot of people don't train kicks, and especially like the least of the things that people train in, like if they're coming to attack you in the street or something, you can normally get away with that. With a back kick, it's a little hard, like a round kick and stuff. But like, why not just kick it yourself? Especially like in Wing Chun, you have like the 10. I can't remember which kick what we call the kick in like the actual word. It's just like the low front kick that we have. The whole point of that is to stop them coming forwards and doing stuff like this.
Oh yeah, it's like training Thai. Anytime someone goes to throw any leg kicks on me, most times people will just want to sit there and do like some standard static checking, or even kickoff checking, or even just flow throughs or riding the kick. You'd be surprised how much of a brain short they'll have. They won't have the cognitive ability to actually think in the moment. If when they go to throw a leg kick, if you just take your foot and put it in their hip, take your foot and actually jam the kick.
Yeah,
that's Lowe's tip of the day for all of you Thai boxers. Start actually kicking the hip more. Start kicking above the knee just to keep the leg out of the way.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was talking about the oblique kick, by the way. I was trying to think of the Chinese name for it. I can't remember it, so let's just go with oblique kick.
Yeah, I was going to say I can't think of one either for that matter. Which, gotta say, like, as much as I think oblique kicks are definitely something for, like, a self-defense scenario type deal, like, I don't know why so many fucking competitions allow it. Like, honestly, being someone who has had knee problems, I just don't really see, like, giving competitions.
You know, Beast, I don't know how to say this, but grow a pair.
It's hard to grow a pair when you're in a fucking wheelchair.
It's called the Chum Q kick because it's from the Chum Q form. So
well, you're sitting there, you're saying, well, someone who has had knee injuries. Wow. I am so sorry about your knee. I wish I knew a little bit about what you're talking about.
No, I mean, Beast did injure his knee. Don't forget, he fell in class and tried to stand up, and his knee popped out sideways.
They said that was just his leg being flexible.
His for those of you that don't know, it pops out of the joint.
Yeah,
the joint. Somewhat invasive surgeries for my knee to repair it.
Like this, straight to kneecap here.
I do like that follow through there where he's like taking. I do like taking out the back of the knee just as a good takedown. If you're offside like that, it can be pretty effective.
Oh yeah. It's a great way to actually do an asotogari instead of actually reaping the leg. If you'll stomp straight through, you can use the back of the collar to kind of make their head bounce off the pavement a couple times.
It's actually the point of, the classical Wing Chun stance, the sheep stance, I think it's called, a ram stance, whatever, where the point is you bend your knees into the back of their knee when you get behind them to pull them down, you grab you get head control of the head and the neck.
The thrust of freedom?
I mean, sure, we can call it that.
Smack him in the face. So if you kick me in the nut like this here, and then straight away like this, straight away, bang, break that down to like that there. So you make sure no more leg left. Okay, and then you can grab hold of him, you can elbow him here, you can smack him into the neck, you can.
He's advocating to fuck up someone's
so you're
spine.
able to have a-
He's
Yeah.
like they want to kick you in the balls, cripple them, and I'm like, okay,
You know what we call that strike to the back of the head?
what?
The Gerber baby food strike. Because
Oh,
for
yeah.
the rest of your life, that's what you're going to be eating.
Damn.
anymore.
I was gonna say you pretty much already fucked them up with a goddamn
You know?
oblique to
So
me.
that's a basic one.
They're not getting up.
You can do with this kind of movement here is when they start to grab my inner chest. So sometimes they get this kind of lot like this. What's going on? What's going on?
Okay, this is everyone will always talk about in self-defense if they grab your wrist, and as much as I agree that's a thing that happens, this is far more common.
Yeah.
That and the wind up. Grab a
So-
single collar, wind up for the other hand.
There's a lot of ways to get out of this. Let's see what he decides on.
Punch me, boom, like this. Shot to the face again. This hand here.
Yeah, the video's not playing on my end.
You've got a thumb.
It's a little choppy on this side.
Yeah, that's how it is for me.
Out, so you've got a thumb like this. So make sure this hand, yeah. This hand
But
here.
it's still moving it. We can make it work on my end, please.
Shot to the face again. This hand here. Pull the hand like this out, so you've got a thumb like this. So make sure this hand, yeah. Sometimes it's difficult to grab hold of this to move. So when the hook coming in, you go like this. Hurt him first, looking for the thumb, and then you break him like this.
Does it look a chop with an actor?
I think he's just saying slam him in the face. He's saying boom to the face. So I don't think he's hitting him in the neck. I think he's just like slapping him basically. Just
Fair enough.
So this is going to be my first one that I just don't particularly agree with.
mhm.
This one's just not my favorite. My
That's
reasoning
fair.
for this is there's too many moving parts.
A lot is too intricate.
Yeah, it's too intricate for because you got to remember, kiss, keep it simple for stupid. In self-defense, you're gonna be hopped up on adrenaline. You're not going to be thinking straight. You're going to be kind of panicking in the moment, and we can train as much as we want, but you're not going to be able to just react without panic. So the less moving parts, the better. I
That's
would
fair.
prefer it instead of actually trying to get for the thumb. If he just kind of peeled the hand through like a crossing elbow, maybe to the side of the neck and did in the sotogari, or someone's grabbing you on the collar, instead of panicking, try to actually drill. Oh, as soon as someone grabs your collar, start caving their face in.
Yeah, that's honestly pretty fair, I'd say.
Oh no, I think an asotagari is more complicated than just hit them in the face and grab their hand and pull it off.
That's the thing, though. Like, he's not saying just grab the hand and pull it off. He's saying rotate it, get the thumb locked, put your arm under their arm. From that same position, all an asotagari would be is, hey, grab the hand, peel it without grabbing the thumb, which is what he's going intricate on, then take the other leg and just hook his leg and push him over it.
True. Our response for Shorinji Kempo would probably just be Yakugote.
No, you got to do Kinteki Gaeshi.
To be fair,
that works as well.
I was gonna say, to be fair, at that point, like shit, let them keep the fucking grapple if they want to. I'm just gonna keep bashing and bashing and bashing and bashing until they let go.
I think Jahakadori would also work in that situation.
Especially if you can just, well, I mean, you're legit in elbow room at that point. Just keep firing those off.
I think that kind of goes into excessive use of force. It can, like, if someone grabs you, you don't need to start trying to break their arm with like 10 elbows to their elbow or
Oh
something.
yeah, so it goes to the use of force continuum, dude.
I mean, that's fair. Fair enough. I mean, if they don't drop from the first one, though, which I mean, they probably would. Fucking elbow.
Anyway, let's see what he does with this sort of wraparound.
Like this, so the arm coming out. Very basic and simple, breaking the arm on that movement
That's
there.
kind of
Okay?
like Udajiji.
Very simple. Let me show you slowly.
My issue with doing that from the front, if you can get around the backside and start leveraging the elbow, fine. If you're doing it around there, there's not a lot stopping him from coming at you.
I would prefer that to be done from a different position, just because, hey, you're not doing anything to keep him from caving your face in with his other arm.
Yeah.
Again. So grab here. What is going on? Hook we come in. Boom,
What is that noise?
that's where the arm
I
broke.
don't
Very
know.
basic and simple.
It was like a moan.
You might get sometimes they grab
I
your
don't
body
know how you're
when you come
hearing
along,
that,
walk
but
along, come
okay.
along, and they grab you like this, like that. So that you get a lot. So
First of freedom. There we go. This one we see a lot in self-defense situations. I think it's like normally I think they probably try and get under your arms so that you can't like do as much, but this happens especially in like multiple attacker situations. So let's see how he goes with this one.
I'm gonna be AFK for just a second.
grab over there, smack with his face to distract him first, smack him to his leg so everybody can smack somebody on the leg. It's very easy. Boom to the leg like this, very easy, and move back.
How does
first,
he do that?
Smack him to slap you like this,
He's
like that. So that you get a lot.
imitating a stomp.
Right, grab over there,
Yeah.
smack with his face to.
So essentially just like drop down so your arms are a little more free and just grab, stamp him, and
Yeah,
pull
it's a
yourself out.
you're going down, at least from what it looks like, headbutting and then a stomp.
I wouldn't headbutt. I don't like anything that tells you to headbutt with the back of your head. Like that's a very.
I mean, that
soft
is
area.
fair. but
Can't
That's,
take a lot of hits.
that's what he's doing here, is what I'm saying.
But if he's
Probably
stamping out
not.
the ankles,
Yeah.
that works. I mean, sure.
Distract him first, smack him to his leg so everybody can smack somebody on the leg. It's very easy. Boom to the leg like this, very easy, and move back and then smack it to the nut here. So
Okay, I'll share a gay.
he won't be able to have no more kitty. So it's a problem. So let me show you that slowly.
It is a problem, yeah. He just kicked him in the
Very
balls.
simple. Smack from there.
To be fair, I wouldn't have thought of a groin kick from that situation. I would have just kind of
Smack him to his
I guess-
leg, to the leg here to make sure.
ran a little bit forward.
Move forward and then smack him to the nut like this.
I guess. I mean, they could grab your leg, but if you kick them in the balls, you kick them in the balls.
So I just got back for a second.
Yeah.
Is he saying that stomping the foot's immediately going to get them to release?
He said
No,
he said headbutt them, lean forward, stamp out the knee, and then grab the arms and pull, and then like go forwards.
I'm seeing the foot, not a knee there.
Not the like he's doing for like the shin and stuff. I think. I'm not
So,
really
Why is he
understanding.
striking with the back of his head?
Knee here to the
I
leg here
don't
to
know.
make sure
That's what I
the
was
foot is
saying.
gone.
It's a very
Move
soft
forward and
area.
then
It doesn't
smack
really.
Have you watched any movie ever?
No,
How do people get knocked out? They get hit in the back of the head. Why are you gonna subject your head to that?
I mean, clearly because his head is made of immaculate pebbles that have been like shaped and sculpted.
I mean, I'd prefer him to shoot his weight out, get a wrap around for the hip, and then just try to drop if he can.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to break the grab that they have around you, but either they release it or they're gonna fall.
kitty for him.
I don't really like telling people to strike with the back of their head.
You can say more. Oh,
I say like you like try and drop your weight, try and wrap around the back of their leg, and maybe you both fall over.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm trying to think of some different methods from there. I mean, I don't necessarily.
Going back to our first video, what they did incorrectly. You could just squat deeply, take one of the legs, and drop your weight immediately as fast as you can on a knee.
I was gonna say, could you not just like toss them over the shoulder at that point? Have you gotta?
I mean, your arms aren't free to throw anyone though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's got your arms trapped, just squat, grab a leg, and
Hmm.
use all 600 pounds of your weight beast to drop them.
Okay,
That was-
asshole.
Yeah, they were talking to Beast, not Caliburn. But that was 5 self-defense moves everyone should know. What are we thinking generally on that? I feel some good things, some questionable. But as a general rule, I didn't have that much of a problem with it. Most of it seemed to work. It's two of them aren't what I would do.
Okay, so as far as Master Wong's video, I think that all of it can work. All of it has the capacity to work. I just think that there are better options out there.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that none of it was just horrible advice. I would just say it's not what I would say to do or prefer to do.